what should be a cracking encounter. We are good to go here in Bari for the last of the quarter-final action from EuroVolley 2023. Here we go, Italy in the white to get things underway in front of the home crowd here in the Palaflorio in Bari. And it is Micheletto to serve. They're against the Dutch. The Netherlands in the blue and orange with Namir, their superstar scorer. He scored some 40 points more than any other player in this Dutch team so far at this tournament. And if he fires, the Netherlands fire. So solid start. And one of the big game plans, it's pretty straightforward to be honest, not so easy to deliver. But the big game plan for the Dutch tonight is serve tough. Fabian Plak to deliver the first one. Tries to put it in with pressure over the baseline to deafening cheers from this Italian crowd. And they've got to be careful tonight, the Netherlands. This is an Italian team that if they hit top gear, if they start finding their serve rhythm, they are going to be incredibly tough to play against. Roberto Russo with his tricky hybrid serve. Good set from Kemmink. Contained by Italy. And Lavia power tips down the line, but the Dutch get a brilliant defensive play out of it. And Namir taps it onto the tee. 2-1 to the Dutch. He's an interesting character, Lavia. He very often gets targeted by opposition teams, but somehow keeps coming up with the MVP titles. He was the World Championship best spiker. And he's got to do that tonight, but Namir is in stunning form to start with. 127 km/h thunderbolt from the baseline. And that is what Italy are going to have to deal with tonight. Balasso beaten by pure power from Namir. High toss. Massive swing and a great piece of judgment from the Italian players. That is ferocious serving early doors from Namir. Italy back to work. What the Dutch have to do is get to Italy. They've got to get under their skin in front of this home crowd and at least create an element of doubt about the progression through to the semi-finals. The winner meets France. Good hit, great hit. Ghiscione, 34 years of age now, 196 tall, but he still gets up there. He finds nice angles. He's a steady player. This is volleyball with PAOK Thessaloniki out in the Greek league. Not a bad place to play your volleyball. Oh, great swing. Great swing coming out of that pipe angle on the big tempo, so very quick from Micheletto. 2 meters and 11 coming at you after you've just guessed wrong with the middle. And Parkinson, no chance. Lovely start from Italy then in offence, despite the service pressure from the Netherlands. Good comeback. Good swing from Parkinson. Plays with the French club, Tours Volley. Another 31-year-old in this Dutch lineup, 2 meters and 3 tall. I think one of my commentary colleagues, Denise Austin, referred to him as a grinder through the middle, and he's exactly that. Oh, good stop on Galassi. This is brilliant. Fabian Plak makes the stop. Heavy swing, but Plak all over Galassi on that one. Dare the Dutch fans hope. A lot of them have made the journey, but getting out-shouted by Italy right now. Well, Micheletto's the go-to man at the moment. Gianelli knows he's the hot arm. And as nice as it is to open with something a bit expansive to bring your middles into the game, there's a lot to be said for establishing your platform to the wings and just letting your big men go to work. Just getting their feet under the table, turning that scoreboard over. Galassi misses by a long way. There's 2 other middle blockers. Giovanni Sanguinetti and Leandro Mosca on the bench for Italy tonight. Not much rhythm at the moment for Italy from the service line, but plenty of rhythm in offense. The noise from that ball as Roberto Russo hit it and then it thundered into the floor filled this stadium. Interesting choice of starters for the Netherlands. They've gone with two athletes that are far less familiar to the Italian players than Van Garderen and Terhorst, who are both waiting in the wings. Not the best from Jornet. Benny Tuntre gets his first swing. Well dealt with by Italy. Goodness me. What we must never forget at this point in his career is that Alessandro Michieletto is still only 21 years of age. He's got a lot of maturing to go and he is already up there with the best in the world. And that is quality. That was past Namir. Gianelli to serve. Tall Italian captain and playmaker. Namir chips it into play, well patrolled by Balasso. Nice little left-hander from Romano. Not heard a lot from Yuri Romano at the moment, but we've seen a bit from him there alongside Roberto Russo, who I think got all of that. But Romano sealed the line nicely, and now we're going to see the height that this Italian block gets to. There's the brilliant defensive pickup from Balasso, rolled over by Romano and defended by the Dutch, but it's this next block that has to be seen to be believed. It is towering stuff from these two. Good luck getting past that. Yeah, that sums it up. Good hit. That's Gianelli's other serve. But that's a great response, I like that. Audacious from Kemink. Plays his volleyball with the Karlovarsko club, Czechia. Very solid setter, and they've got a very good setter on the bench as well. Silmai's just a young man, but he can cause problems when he comes in. Well, no dramas for the Dutch. They have a plan. Yeah, that's the right attire for the youngsters in this kind of atmosphere. Piazza watches on nervously. The Dutch, though, are there to go for their serves. You will get errors from the Netherlands tonight. An error from Michieletto. He's got this raking serve that he hits from position 5, that he swings right across the front of the passes. I think that's his best serve. And he's just tried to go line to line on that last one and ran out of space. And we're back round to the pluck serve. Same as last time, I'm afraid, out the back. And after a solid start from the Dutch, Italy working their way back in on the scoreboard. Gelassi, Romano, Lavia in the front line right now. Nice hit. And Russo's on it. Great defence from the big man. And Romano can't get it away. This is brilliant from the Dutch. Oh, and what a response from Italy. It's bad enough when there's two of them in the air. But Romano joining a three-man block and absolutely shutting the lights out on Namir. All started by a fabulous diving pick-up from Russo.
First, we have to remember the rotation.
Timeout Netherlands.
B2, we know exactly what they are doing. Benny, you have to know. Otherwise, it's not possible to play. Second, hey, our serve is nobody. Barty, we score point. We are giving them the chance. Come on, play the ball. Go.
Like it from Piazza, and that timeout tells you pretty much all you need to know about their preparation for this game. The last day would have been spent trying to recover from the brutal Germany 3-2 victory, and the rest of it would have been spent looking at videos and going through the game plan. And what Roberto Piazza's trying to do is simplify things for his players. I think he's essentially got a two rotation policy. So front and back, he's saying to the Dutch players, you know what players are there, you know where they are, you know what the tendencies are, and now do what we've said we're going to do. Superb. If it's in, it is. Another bag of gravel being dropped from the heavens. It sounds like a Rocky movie when these guys hit the ball. Parky, the latest man to thunder it in. That's what you need. Your opponent's telling you you've won the point. 10-all. Namir. With power. Brilliant. Oh, wow. What coverage from the Italians behind the shot of Romano. And what a set from Kemmink, and Italy still in the rally. They need this point. They want to get Namir away from the line. And here's the chance. And a net touch. Oh dear. Well, it's against Jona. Parkinson saying to the second official, wasn't me, but there was no response from Jona. That would suggest that he's the man that's touched the net. And what a shame, after some terrific play. Both sides of the net. Dringer makes the play, and there's that little tickle. Forearms on the net tape. It did look like Parkinson was just as guilty, actually. 11-10. Namir's service threat seen off for another rotation. He'll get another go probably before the end of this first set. Back to Romano's threat. And he has put it out. Oh, it's in. It's been called in. We'll get a challenge here. We'll get a challenge. Well, just like Micheletto, Romano serving from position 5 on the diagonal is just a horrendous thing to deal with. The Dutch, well, Part left it out, but I think a couple of the passes there just wouldn't have even reacted. That was hit so hard. Has it compressed enough to catch a piece of the line? The Dutch think it hasn't. No line judges, so technology tells us. And that has just clipped the baseline. Massive ace from Yuri Romano. And things just got a little trickier for the Dutch in set 1. Gilassi was completely assured. Watch the loop on this ball. He gets a huge amount of curve on this hit. Oh, dear me. Well, Jona's done well to control it in the playing area. And Namir has played a fabulous shot off the arms of the blockers. There's your experience for you. Nice. Blockers lined up, everybody up in unison, completely sealed. And he just catches the elbow of Lavia. Lavia stopped. Not getting a lot of joy in offence at the moment, Daniele Lavia. And that's a brilliant pickup from Andringa, but again, too much power. And the second hit from Lavia, who is incredibly popular with his Italian fans, is a good one. Good bump from Balasso out of system. Just 100 clicks, so slightly off pace from Lavia. I'm not joking. These guys can go faster than that. Yeah, good height. Plays in Turkey, does Benny Tins today. Just 22 years of age, 2 metre tall outside hitter. Plays for the Ziraat Banksay Ankara club. That's a fine hit. I was really impressed with him. Saw him play live in Rotterdam. It's the first time I'd seen him actually face to face, and he was really good as an impact player, but he's got to start in this game. That will not please Roberto Piazza. That's the lowest risk serving the team. Michael Parkinson, and he usually gets a few points with it, but not on this occasion. Gilassi missed his first serve. Deliberately puts that in. And that's a good dig on Plak. Romano chips it cross court, forces the defence from Kemmink. Italy recycle. Again, that volley is blocked. Romano is dug. Terrific contest. Oh, wow. And the referee calls a let. A tumble, I'm afraid, from Roberto Russo. And that is an unfortunate injury to the big middleman. What a shame during the middle of a fantastic rally. But as usual, for the players at the net, ankles and knees are always going to be a problem. Sporting applause from around this venue, but yeah, if you're of a nervous disposition, then maybe don't look. It's not so good. It's not so good. So, Roberto Russo wincing in pain, taken away from the court, and that is not ideal for this Italian team. They've got plenty of quality on the bench to call on, but not a lot of experience. Sanguinetti, just 23 years of age, from the Modena club. And then the 2 meters and 9 tall Leandro Mosca. And concern on the faces of the Dutch fans as well. It looks like Mosca getting ready, does it? Well, this is not ideal. It really isn't. It's never great. Never great to see a player injured, and not one of Roberto Russo's quality. He's out. We'll have to see if he's able to return, but it doesn't look good. It's going to be Sanguinetti instead of Mosca. Treatment will begin. You may have noticed Gianelli holding both thumbs up to the ref there just to check that it is in fact a let. So the point not awarded to either team. We're going to replay it. And of course our wishes and our thoughts with Roberto Russo. Let's hope that that's not an injury that's going to stop him playing the rest of this tournament. Away we go again. Sinstra's made the shot. Now Italy think this is out. There's quite a few players wandering around who think this is out. The only problem surely there would have been that it clipped the antenna. That looked comfortably in. As always, the super slow-mo tells the story. That's fine. Nowhere near the antenna, but right on the baseline. Good pass. Well, Gianelli with a bit of trickery. It's not quite worked for Italy. And Namir just gets a roll on the ball. Gets a big hand over the top and spins it onto the line. And you can't get away from it when one of your colleagues has been injured, and it's not a good one. Then it really does detract from what the players on the floor are trying to do. Vessel Kemming at the line. Italy have lost their lead, and they've lost their starting middle blocker, Roberto Russo. Oh dear me, no connection at all between Gianelli and Sanguinetti. And the massive split block attempted by Micheletto. It's clipped the antenna, but Namir says it's Micheletto's hand on the split block that actually hit the antenna. Right in front of the referee's face, in defence of the ref. It's very difficult to spot that when it's right under your nose. And the point. I think eventually awarded, yes, it's eventually awarded to the Dutch. Micheletto admits it, and Italy call a timeout.
Sì, ma con lui vi ho detto, Muro gli devi buttare, non basta quella cosa qui. Ragazzi, lucidi e andiamo a palla alla
Well, Russo was looking majestic through the middle. He's injured and off. There's the offence with Micheletto. I mean, seriously, to be able to leap, split block that far and still touch the top of the antenna. That is frightening. Now there are problems here. Russo off. That's not the Italian team. And at the moment, Romano not contributing points. Lavia not contributing a huge amount of points. There's a lot of pressure on Micheletto at the moment. And that's why the Dutch are targeting him. Romano comes with the heat. He's got to arrive now at the party. Romano has to start turning the scoreboard over. Gianelli knows it. That's why he's gone there. Good set as well. Tricky. Very tricky. Back to the Gianelli hybrid serve. He can do float and topspin from that throw. Goes topspin this time, rather too easy, and you won't see a ball bounce better than that, not even in the warm-up. This is insane. Oh, wow. Mario Balasso will be very grateful that missed him, because that could have been serious as well. Twenstra. Serve for the Dutch. They're looking good now. Oh, it's looking better. Looking even better. And that injury to Roberto Russo has really hit the Italian players. They're struggling to get some rhythm again. And they are dropping points left, right and centre. Lavia beaten. Instead of touches 350 on his spike approach, and he's right up there when he hits that jump serve. This one off pace though. What a great set to Micheletto. He's done well to get a shot out of that. And this is brilliant. This is brilliant decision making from Vesselkemming. The block was loaded there to potentially go out to Namir. And after a good slowdown on Yuri Romano, they were just not quite sure where to go, and Flack gets another open net, really. Sanguinetti was late to that one, and Roberto Piazza's loving this. Second time out, Italy.
Lui la uno dove la tira, da quella parte. E allora lì ci mettiamo le mani. Non è cominciamo a fare delle cose straordinarie o meno. Questo è il momento da tenere, ragazzi. A chi state pensando? A Russo o giochiamo la partita? A chi state pensando?
There's no doubt about it. This Italian lineup is fantastic. They also had a 3-2 battle, incidentally, with Germany. Found themselves unlucky not to be a little deeper into the tournament. The problem for Italy always comes when you get them under pressure, and then the youngsters, 21-year-old Micheletto, 22-year-old Daniele Lavia, 23-year-old Sanguinetti have to do things in a game to get their team through. So the pressure is on. Lavia with a great pass. It's an audacious set. Not put away by Sanguinetti, and is that hit hard enough? No, Micheletto is blocked. And this Palaflorio Arena here in Bari is going a little quiet. It was such a huge, noisy start to this match. It was fabulous, but if the team can't quite deliver, there's always a downside to that, and I'm really pleased to hear the Italian fans responding. Yeah, good shot. Good shot. Time for these guys to step up. Gianelli's trying a few different things here. This is a nice pipe attack to Lavia, who doesn't try and hammer it on the floor. He just uses the blocker's hands that are available. Still think Romano has to go big here. He could be the solution tonight. Gianelli's not using him a lot, though. Not at the moment. Good serve. Great pass. And a very smooth swing. He is class. The man in your picture is class. Watched him play a lot of games in the last 2 years. I've seen him have 2 bad ones. In all the games I've seen him play, Namir is on form tonight. Good pass to allow plenty of attack variation there. Nice feed from Gianelli. Yuri Romano has matured into such a good player. at this level. And I think he needs to carry quite a bit of hitting responsibility here. At the moment, he's one of the more experienced players on the court at 25 years of age for the Italians. Decent pass. Wow, that was such a huge leap from Romano. He's got his face right over the net. And Cristione happy to hit it. Bit of a no-looky cookie there from Iona, but it worked. And back to the problems for Italy with the Namir serve. Could end this set right here, could Namir. And that's the fastest serve of this stage of the tournament, 131 kilometres per hour. He's outpaced Leon, who was up in the high 120s today for Poland before he got subbed off. Poland getting through that match, eventually against Serbia by 3-1. Well, the Italian crowd have resorted to giving Namir the bird. They're trying their hardest here to help the team along, but it's not happening at the moment for Italy. And ever since Roberto Russo went off court injured, the Italian performance has gone downhill. Romano misses. Well, Serbia won the first set against Poland, and that automatically gave us further ingredients for an extended match. If the Dutch win this set, which it looks highly likely they will, then Italy are going to have to battle very hard, but in front of the crowd and with the resources they have, that surely means we're going to go past the three. At the moment, though, the Dutch doing everything right. Jonak, next from the service line, hits a good one. Well passed by Michieletto. Out wide to Lavia. I wish he'd do more of that. He's got such a great radar. And when he's not in the pass, when he's freed from the pass, and he can put his back into the jump, he's a great hitter. But it's all going to have to start in set two for Italy. Start again at least. Dutch to win it, Namir. And that's probably the right person to kill it. He's been brilliant in the first set. The Netherlands have been really good from the halfway point onwards. They lead the hosts, the defending champions, the world champions, Italy, by a set to 0. It's a brilliant start from the team in blue. The Dutch lead Italy by a set to 0. And now there are a couple of Italian players that really have to step up. Michieletto has to carry the scoring can along with Yuri Romano. It's the two lefties that have got to go to town. And then it all has to be held together by the passing of Balasso and Lavia. Gianelli can set a really solid foundation here in offense, then Italy will be able to get back into this match, but it's going to be a long road. And if the Dutch continue to serve as well as they have, if Namir continues to put away the ball on a regular basis, this is going to be testing. That'll do for Italy for starters. Fabian Plak into the net. Vessel Kemmink is trying to run an offense that keeps the Italian blockers guessing. I really like what he's doing. And okay, that's one shot missed, but it's going to keep the middle player, Sanguinetti, in that instance, on his toes. And if you can pin middles, you can free space for the wings. Good pass from Tunstede. Namir is just looking imperious out there. There are certain players that when you get to see them play live, that you never lose that image. Namir is one of those players. You watch him out there on court and it is sensational. At the moment, he's getting the job done for the Orange fans. Plak isn't, but he hasn't got a serving court at the moment, Fabian Plak, but hey, you know, he's part of a unit and he's out there doing his job. Italian fans still believe that the road to Rome might be filled with the odd dirt bump, a few potholes, a couple of stones here and there, but they can still walk the walk and take it all the way to the final. Fantastic here. Oh, what a pick up from Balasso into the net from Michieletto. Oh, don't do that. Not when your libro's made the most stunning pickup and put it on a plate. That is terrific volleyball. That, not so good, but Michieletto knows it. Could have been one of the points of the tournament. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Into the net from Namir. And the last thing the Dutch is for him to hit a cold streak. They need to keep this pressure on. I think the Netherlands' best chance to win this game in front of this massive Italian crowd is in 3 sets. They've got to keep the hammer down here on Italy. Sanguinetti to serve. Huge chance for him to play in this match. Unfortunately, at the expense of Roberto Russo, and we send our best wishes to the Italian middle, who's injured out of this game in set 1. Oh, this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. The atmosphere here in Bari is terrific. Nice. Nice, like what I'm seeing here from Daniele Lavia. Just trying to bring a bit of stability to this Italian team. He loves a nice tempo ball, nice and quick out to that post. And then he can work his magic. Good touch, Palazzo all over it. Lavia gets another go, puts it away. Well, he is underpinning everything right now, and if Michieletto and Romano can get going, then I think Italy are still going to be in a very good position in this match. And Roberto Piazza knows it. There's a momentum change. Time out to the Dutch.
The first ball, if you can remember, I told you, he has to put that one on the game. And was that one? Now, Lavia is the most important player. So switch the idea, first of all. And second, never 2 balls in the rows in the same spot. Okay? Go!
Namir, most experienced player in there, just feeding a bit of information in at the end there. You heard Roberto Piazza tell his team they've got to slightly change their focus because Lavia is the man at the moment. The problem with doing that is you change that focus, Michieletto and Romano come into the game. And that is something the Dutch really don't want. So they're going to have to be pretty nimble with their thought processes here to make sure that they target the right people at the right times. Romano off the back of the timeout finds a big serve. Oh, that is brilliant from Namir. A three-man block all over him, and he still finds a route to the floor. Excellent, excellent shot. Well, this is a terrific contest with quite a few variables at play. Parkinson puts it in. Solid pass from the Italians, and that's a brilliant shot from Romano. See what I mean? If you're favouring Lavia, if you're thinking out in that kind of direction, you don't always get the job done against the other players that can score big, and Romano can score big. Too far in front of him on that occasion, Lavia. Now he's got to settle his mind and get across this rotation along the back line as the passer, the main man. Netherlands likely to target Lavia. Vessel Kemming at the line. Good front court for the Netherlands for 3 rotations. After they go, Lavia makes the play. Romano out of the back line, drills it. What a great camera angle to see that attack. It was not an easy ball to pass. Lavia's given Gianelli something to work with there. Gilassi at the line. Finds himself at 25 years of age as one of the senior players on court. Can't deliver the ace, so we're going to see a challenge because Gianelli thinks it's in. He's not so sure, but there's a couple of Italian players have convinced coach Di Giorgi to press the challenge buzzer and ask the ball in or out question. He's not happy, is he, at the moment? Di Giorgi knows there's a bit of work to be done. It is long. There's a huge amount of conviction about that whole challenge, and Gilassi misses. Italy still can't quite get the ball rolling. They've got the lead again, but it doesn't look safe. Torstra hammers it into play. Great pass. There we go. Good dig. Good positioning there from Andringa. And hard work being done by Micheletto. The Dutch can win the point though. Namir. Blocked. Despite the very best efforts of the Dutch, Italy come up with the point. Very good lineup. Not a huge amount of space for Namir to work with. A little disappointed he got the ball behind his shoulder, but knew he should have done better with that. Well, full marks to the Bari crowd here. They are in good voice and they are right behind their players. Gianelli to serve. Goes with that little flappy float serve. Off the top spin toss. And the ball's hit the floor. Good swing from the supporting cast. Twinstra and John are very similar players. They are very much in a supporting role to Namir, and they're doing a grand job at the moment. Now come on, Fabian Platt, how's your luck? Time for a serve to go in court, I think, for the middleman. Here we go, good serve, great pass from Balasso, and beautifully manoeuvred. Well, you can call it all sorts of things, but when a player runs close to the setter and jumps in a quick tempo, a lot of people refer to it as an A-quick. That is not far away from an A-quick out of the back line. Three-point margin is opened up. Gold dust at this level. Solid serve, solid pass. Parky doesn't get all of it. Oh, wow. but he gets all of that. What a way to make up for not hitting the first ball clean. Mikael Parkinson puts a hole in the floor with this one. Oh, straight down. That was a chance for Micheletto. He knows it, and Namir misses a second serve in a row. This is all exactly what the Italian crowd want to see. They know how dangerous Namir is. Sanguinetti brought on in unfortunate circumstances for the injured Roberto Russo. Missed his first serve in this second set. Puts that one in though. That is an exquisite hit. That's at a very high tempo from Tinstra. But watch how he controls this ball right at the top. Just puts his wrist over it. That is very clever hitting. Yeah, great return. Yuri Romano's just finding a way into this game now. Looks a lot more comfortable. He's done most of his hitting against a pretty solid block. Not impressed at the moment by the looks of it. Probably way past bedtime. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yuri Romano comes to the party. Challenge. The only reason it's been called is to stop Yuri Romano in his tracks and make him think about his next serve. Call your jets, Yuri, type thing. Never in doubt. Never in doubt. This was not a serious challenge. It was a time delay challenge. Look how deep the Dutch receive is. When we go back to that wide shot, look how deep the Dutch players are standing to cope with Romano. Parkinson gets the pass away. Good shot. Tinstra and Jon are having great games out on the left side at the moment. To whip it off the arms of that gigantic Gianelli block. What a treat to have a setter that can block that high. And be able to set with the ball that tight. Lavia's been just about perfect in this set. He and Micheletto, the two Trentino boys, take their team to the title this season. Whoops, football with three-wing spiker system that has Matti Kaziski as the third man in the triangle. Baseline out of bounds. Lavia's stepped on it. We get a lot of footballs here in Bari. Some weird geographical reason. Kemi puts it in. Lavia passes well. Beautiful. We've seen virtually nothing from Gilassi. He's a great player. And this is a great arrival. Really nice tempo, and he's hit that very hard. And that'll do his confidence a bit of good at the service line. He's got a firm jump serve as the Monza player. Voted best middle blocker at the World Championships 2022. Good serve. Namir out of system. Tries to go on the joust. And no change out of that. Italy responding really well to that brilliant first set performance from the Dutch. And Micheletto's having none of it.
Guys, it's time to take a risk, also in block, because We are serving E1. We know exactly in P6, P3 and P1 what they are doing. So we have to move the line in low. Go guys, go! Go!
Let's go, boys.
Models having a quick chat. Also saw the giant frame of 7'1", 2m14. Sibi Koremlek. See him in as an impact blocker at some point. Well, the home side's play in this set has certainly lifted the spirits of the Italian crowd. See if Piazza's timeout just caused problems for Selassie. It can. So often the case. Italy have control of set 2. Chasing the match at a set down. Great block. Really great blocking. Exactly what coach Piazza was asking for. Telling his players, you've done your homework on the opposition. You've got to be in the right places, and Plax made a very good stop of pace there. Still a 3-point lead to somehow overcome. Tunstra gets close to the line. Nice heavy swing. Well, those of you that have been watching Micheletto since he started his pro career at 17 years of age, it's crazy, isn't it? Will have noticed the incredible improvements that he's made as a player, physically and mentally as well. He was a real hothead, and he still is, but there's much more focus to what he does out on court. Channels that emotion nicely. Too good. Just too good. You show him a gap, he'll hit it. In comes Silmais for Fabian Plax, so the backup setter's on for serve and defence. Impressive player, Mace. Unfortunately, not able to show us on that occasion. That will be his last contribution because he leaves. Plack comes back on. Libero replaces Plack. Mace returns to the bench. Micheletto, one of the keys here tonight. His serving could be massive in this tournament. Just tonight's game. It's a good shot. It's a good shot. Disappears off down the exit. And it's just a reminder, we get so caught up with the speed gun at 135 clicks or whatever we want to see, that we forget a good, solid, controlled hit at 110, 115 into a seam is going to do the job. Van Garderen, Italian-based pro, comes in for the Netherlands for Tunstra. No, substitution just delays Micheletto, who's getting a little frustrated with himself down there. Still muttering away, but I promise you, 1.5 years, 2 years ago, he'd have been off wandering around the court with players having to get him back again. Crowd once again will feel that they have put Namir to the sword. There's a huge noise as he tosses that ball. And that's 3 serve errors in a row for one of the key service weapons for the Dutch. Back to Sanguinetti, who's quietly making his way into the game in replacement of Russo. Good serve from him. Forceful tip from Jona. height on the block from Romano and Gelassi. Well, the crowd doing a great job here. There must be some correlation between the Dutch errors and the noise they're making. I know the pressure is on the shoulder. When you're down on the scoreboard, you don't really flow at the service line. It's tricky. But when you're up 5 points, you can swing away. Wow. I don't think that Guzjana managed to limbo under that one. No, just clipped him on the right shoulder. It might have been going out though. Parkinson comes out. Another tall man comes in, so Twan Wiltenberg at 2:05 comes into the action. Not unusual to see Parkinson taken out after a set and a half. He should be back at some point. Good pass from Van Garderen, gets his first hit of the game. Brilliantly defended by Balasso, but a net touch by Italy. It was Gianelli or Gelassi, one of the two. Was the setter and captain. Can't even look at Balasso there. Terrifically. So Plak into the front court. Nice. He's back on the bench. Wiltenberg, good serve. Great containment though. Just great containment. And there's the value of a 2 metre tall setter that can really jump. Ping it at the net tape, height of the antenna, and he'll set it. That is magnificent. Too magnificent at the moment for the Dutch. Trouble again. Namir rolls it, Balasso with a great touch. And that'll do nicely. Romano goes off the hands. Tremendous amount of encouragement now for Italy in this match. And the key players, Micheletto and Romano, the wide men, the lefties, looking good. Lavia has been steady in this set. And it means that Gianelli, the setter, can just distribute it as he wants. Keep asking questions of this Dutch block. What a difference a set makes. Gelassi with a massive block, kills it off. Italy are level in Bari, and don't this crowd know it. One apiece. And this game now looks very good from a home side perspective. Lovely off-pacer, just drew the dive out of Jorna, but he gets a good ball away. Unfortunately for Van Garderen, look at that close from Gelassi. Eyes shut, hit the hands, and when he opened his eyes, he got himself a point, the set point. Nervy moments. in the Palaflorio this evening here in Bari. As the Italians in white bid to make it through to the semi-finals on the road to Rome in defence of their European title. Good start. Micheletto wins the point. But those of you that also know your volleyball will understand it is a game that is played as mini matches within matches. Those sets can change this way and that. And Italy's smiling at the moment, but it's the Netherlands' job to wipe the smiles off those faces by trying to get under their skin again like they did in set one. Italy playing with confidence right now though, and 2 meters 11 tall shuts down the high-flying Dutch captain, and Namir is roofed early. That'll make a huge difference. What a towering block. Sanguinetti doing well to close the angle as well. Good work. That's classic Namir. Contorts himself in the air. Must have a shoulder like elastic to be able to hit some of the balls he hits. Just what his team needed. Chinster getting the bird. I think players should take it as a positive. If the crowd gets on your back when you're about to serve, take it as a positive. They think you're a potential danger. Mind you, the Italian crowd have been giving every single one of the Dutch servers a hard time. Micheletto. It's a good serve away. Nice pass though. And that's a brilliant piece of work from Gianelli in defence. Oh, great follow-up. Great follow-up. Lavia out of system, doing a really good job on the Dutch block. Terrific pickup. He was a bit on his heels there, Gianelli. Not known for his amazing defence, but that was a good touch. Early timeout for Piazza.
It's a difficult game, but we must stay there, huh? Because the end immediately now is walking down on the floor.
Just like that, Italy 4-1. Il Grande Pepe, that's the nickname, Pepe, of the Italian coach, Ferdinando Di Giorgi, known worldwide as that former great. Within the Italian team, played in the '88 Seoul Olympics as a setter. Retired in 2002 with 330 caps. Legend. Micheletto. Off pace, sensible serve. Chances, or not quite in the arc there for Romano to get a hand on it. Well, Sanguinetti had a tough time of it when he came out onto court, and he was thrown right into the middle of the skirmish after the injury to Roberto Russo. But he's gradually getting away into this game. Lovely pass from Balasso, and a brilliant block. Just phenomenal by Jornet on Romano. Studious pass. Gave Gianelli the options, and he gave a very nice seam to Romano, who couldn't find it. Played Jornet. But having got a couple of serves in, missed again. Certainly missed more than he's got in court. Sanguinetti, good server, as he proved towards the back end of the second set. Puts it in with force, great pass. Yeah, nice, great defence again. Gianelli's turning it on in the backcourt. For that one as well. He's chucking himself everywhere now, Gianelli. I wonder if Micheletto could have played that ball if his captain hadn't leapt in front of him. It's the first good touch from Gianelli. Yeah, that was Micheletto's ball. Now then, Namir gets the full treatment from the crowd. Great serve. Lovely pass from Balasso, and that's the way to see him off from the service line. Good set choice from Gianelli. Wasn't quite on the money to run the middle. But the middle, Gilassi took enough attention of the blockers to allow Micheletto the hit. Big hit. What a serve from Romano. And it's out. The apology from Yone. He knew the angle was there, but it was a tricky one. And you've got to nail the tee. You've got to nail where that attack line goes to the sideline on that shot, and he's just missed it. Good shot down the line. That's an amazing serve. Oh, wow. Oh, it doesn't get much better than that. I have been sent an Italian translation for Holy Cow. Probably not a bad time to unveil it, but evidently, mucha sacra. That was astonishing from the Dutch. Thanks to Denise Austin for that. Yeah, good swing, good swing. And there you go. You've got all your drama, you've got all your spectacular shots, but you've also got to have a player that is workmanlike, and Lavia fits the bill. Going about his work very nicely here. Much to the disappointment of Russo. Good set. Really beautiful set. I love the release on that ball. Remember the legendary Dutch setter Pierre Blanchet a few years ago talking about how he used to set reverses. You know, there are different techniques, but he gets his thumbs really involved, and that allows him, or used to allow him in the good old days, to just pump that ball with a nice tempo on the reverse, and that was a lovely set from Kemmink. Wow. Bit of old school. Who's up for a crossover? Well, if that had been at a summer tournament, the entire team would be running around the field right now. That was a beaut. And Lavia again provides the finishing touch. He is emerging as the go-to player right now, and that is a super jump. Oh, the value of a setter that can block. Gianelli delivers the killer blow on Tunstra. Was in the monster category for sure. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Good night, Benny. Take nothing away from Benny Tunstra and Giziona. I think they've done a terrific job for the Netherlands tonight, but it's just a bit of overload at the moment on the left side. And the Italian serve is good enough to take the Dutch out of system, and it's causing problems.
Again, they are good in variation. Now they are waiting just us. They are putting the ball here just to bomb, and they are waiting. So we need to take a courage to score points. Go!
Dutch need to go back to the mentality that we saw from them singing the anthem and coming into the stadium. I really thought they looked in great shape. But this is so often the case when you are forced out of system, it is tricky. There's those glowing wristbands that work in time to the clapping and the music that the fans are handed coming into the venue here in Bari. Looks great. Oh, shot from Namir. Wow. I don't know if the Dutch can get back into this set. Italy running riot at the moment. They might have to wait for that next set and a kind of restart to the match, the Dutch, to see if they can force the issue to 5. At the moment, Italy don't look like they're going to be dropping off this tempo anytime soon. Kemmink, jump, float, long. Never easy. Never easy when you're down on the scoreboard and you're trying to force it. He's played well tonight, Velasco, the libero for Italy. I have to say, I've been really impressed with him, but I'm always impressed when he plays. The Lube defensive specialist. Tumbling defence from Michieletto. There must have been a cry of timber going up there, but the big man, 2 meters and 11 tall, makes the play, and his captain applies the finishing touch. Very nice. Nope, it's out. I thought he clipped the block there of Buck, but no. He's just hammered it straight into the Dutch bench. Good serve from Tunstede. Good response from Italy and Sanguinetti. Only have one club in the Italian Superliga as Sanguinetti, Modena. Been a faithful servant to them for 4 seasons. Still a very young player though. Look at the different variations. You heard Roberto Piazza refer to the variations that Italy are throwing at them. Flavio all the way around the back there on the pipe. That would have been tricky to stop. Back to Michieletto, ace. Oh, it's huge. All the time the threat is there of him swinging it across the passers. And as long as that threat's there, it's very difficult not to honour it. So when he goes back to that deep corner line serve and he gets it right, there's nobody at home. Italy away and clear in set number 3. Van Garderen in for Tunstede. This might be a slightly longer time on court for Martin Van Garderen. Solid pass from him. Nice hit. Velasco's defended it brilliantly. He's ready again. And if you can make your team, your opponents, to play the ball just one more time, then it's always a chance. Full marks to Velasco, getting the plaudits of his teammates. Oh, that's brilliant. That is a really good overhand play over a very short space. Chance again for Italy. They are running riot here in Bari. Romano, the latest player to score. Great touch from him. Pluck does well to keep that in play. But it all works out very nicely for Italy, and that is a freebie straight through the seam. You can't see Roberto Piazza doing anything other than throwing a few new players into the piece here, and there we go. On comes the mechanic. Varta Tamak. Wonderful story. He was a motorcycle mechanic, just playing a bit of volleyball, and he got signed. He got signed on a pro contract, and his boss at the garage said, "No, mate, you've got to live your dream." So off he went. Plays in Turkey now, where he's absolute superstar, and still gets court time for the Dutch, and usually makes an impact. Plays a lot in the opposite position, but he's also capable of playing left side and passing. And if your bike's broken, well, you can fix it. Yeah, good swing. Sanguinetti's found his way into the match now, and the horrible impact of losing Roberto Russo has been softened a little by Sanguinetti's form here. I thought initially that Leandro Mosca was coming in, but Sanguinetti has done a fine job. Overcooks it this time, but the lead is good for Italy here. Professor Kemink is out. Here comes Ter Horst, but this is all about just putting up a block. No setter on court for the Dutch on the back of the Namir serve. So, Italy are going to have a test here. It's all about serve block, and Namir's plastered the first one right off the arms of Micheletto. Double chase, and Italy got nowhere near it. 19 points then in the game for Namir. His serving's not been as good as it sometimes is. But he's got a chance to show what he can do here. Italy need this point. Good defence. No setter on court, remember, for the Dutch at the moment. And there we go. The plan, and it was a good one, has unfortunately been terminated by the Italians. Tamat will leave the floor. Back in on Vesikami. So it looks like Silmais is on. Yeah, there we go. So Tamat stays out on the floor. Namir, the captain, goes to the bench. And the very talented young setter, Silmais, is on, but can't get his hands on the ball. Gamassi demolishes the overpass. Nice place for Grace Dynamo in the Dutch league. He's had a couple of impact games this season where he's come on from the bench at a really tricky time for the Dutch and got them back into the game. So we'll see if the 21-year-old is capable of doing that here. It's a big ask. Back goes the mechanic to the line, looking to engineer something here for the Dutch. And of course, instantly getting it from the Italian fans. Good serve, great pass, brilliant finish. It's clinical. It's clinical from the Italians at the moment. Daniele Lavia chips it cross court. Forces to Horst into the pass. Mace runs it quick outside, but too wide for Van Garderen. And another heavy swing from Yuri Romano. Italy just too good at the moment. But they're doing it off the back of some seriously hard work. They've had to graft in this match to get themselves into some sort of rhythm, and now they're there. They are just looking so good. Balasso makes the play. Astonishing defence. Instant challenge from Piazza. Always a risk here, and very deliberately put in as a secondary rule. If you want to call a floor touch mid-rally and you're not penalised if you've got it wrong, then people would call it in vital points of the game. So if Piazza's got this wrong, then it should be Italy's point. Obviously, if it has touched the floor, the Dutch got the point. Because them's the rules. Here we go. Well, it's just disguised behind the hand, but I can tell you that's compressed off of Balasso and down to just tickle the playing surface. Brilliant effort and a very good challenge. Dutch point, Parkinson to serve. Oh, great read. Really good read from Fabian Plak to shut down Jalassi. Two new players either side of him into Horst and Van Garderen. It's the Horst, that's a cracking player. 31-year-old. Plays out in Korea with Kepkovic's form. Couldn't stop that though from the high and mighty Michieletto. And that little run from Jalassi next to the middle player was really good. That drew Plak's attention, that just caused the fractured block. Good hit, really good hit. Free ball. Yeah, nice. That's so good. Okay, it didn't finish with a bounced hit, but it was a beautiful play. Really wonderfully crafted. And the Prince of Trentino rolls it delicately into play. Good service run on Jalassi. So Mice out. Back in comes Namir. On comes Kimming. Modern version of a Hopkins tune. It was Eurovision Song Contest tune, I think, many years ago. There's a bit of Eurovision going on here from the Italians. They want to be number one again. 2 EuroVolleys in a row, and the world champions want to add that title to the list ahead of Paris 2024. And this sort of form is irresistible, certainly for the Dutch right now. Namir to keep his team in the set. Another wonderful defensive effort from Palazzo. I love that from the libero. Makes the touch and then has a go at his captain, asking why the captain wasn't able to play it. Just a load of set points. Italy will be 2-1 very shortly. Just got to get the kill. And there it is. And the crowd here in Bari lift the roof. 25-16, Italy are on their way to the semi-finals. One more set required. They lead the Dutch by 2-1. Away we go with set number 4. Namir, the danger man for the Netherlands, serves first and serves in. Good defence. Dutch need to prolong this service run, and that's brilliant. That's a hell of a shot from Benny Tunstra out of the back line. Good defence from Gisiona. Excellent commitment, and they just about managed to clear a path. So that Tunstra could beat Balasso, and not a lot of people have beaten Balasso one-on-one tonight. Back to the serve, puts it in with force. Superb. Oh, that's wonderful from the Dutch. Incredible defence. And that's gone. Well, Lavia storms across to Coach Di Giorgi, demanding, absolutely demanding a block touch challenge here. Which Namir's found very amusing. Did he clip Kimi? It's close. It was mighty close. That's a hell of a lead from Namir, and he's given Micheletto some there. But it was a touch. It was admitted by Kimi. So away we go. 1-1. They've seen off Namir for the first time. And can't see him off on that one. Thunderous hit once more from Namir, spins away from the hands of the Italian block. It won't take much. If the Dutch play well in this set, it will not take much to affect the psyche of the Italian players in front of this home crowd. It's a horrible thought, but you can't stop it creeping in sometimes. And as soon as the scoreboard changes, as soon as the pressure's on, that horrible thought of, are we going to lose this? It's pretty tricky to keep out of your mind. And then you've got an adoring, massive crowd right behind you, watching everything. That becomes a pressure. They need this point, Italy. And they're not going to get it straightforwardly. Oh, it's a good shot. Really used his head there, Micheletto. I think that's what he was suggesting to his teammates as well. Because that is a great pickup by Balasso. This is way out of system. And he's done well. He's done really well with that hit. Mustn't get ahead of himself here. Just focus on this serve, focus on the contact point. The ball will take care of the rest. Good hit. One-handed dig. That's a brilliant tip. And Benny Tunstra has started this fourth set very well indeed for the Dutch. Good pass under pressure from Jono, but look at that. Tunstra's got the angles and the trajectory just right to beat Balasso, who's been quite fantastic in defence tonight. Defended. Good work. Good work. Italy not expecting that to come from Vessel Kimming, but he took a risk and it's paid off big time, and it's forced a timeout from Ferdinando Di Giorgi, and just like that this game changes again.
Ragazzi, senza accelerazioni particolari. Fabio, stiamo attenti, loro li fanno questi pallonetti. Con lui non bisogna stare lunghissimi, Abbiamo detto stiamo medi. Dai, stiamo medi e prendiamo quei palloni che vanno presi. Continuare le azioni, non è tutto subito, continuare le azioni. Vai, vai, vai.
Well, full marks to this Italian crowd, because their support hasn't wavered, and there's been a couple of tricky moments in the match, but they've given it their all. They only want one thing, and that's to see victory here for their team. So timeout over. Parkinson serves again. That's a brilliant reach. That's a hell of a reach from Gianelli. There's a lot of setters in the game that could not have done anything with this ball, probably couldn't have even touched it. But he set it on the reverse to Romano, and Romano, just like Micheletto a couple of points ago, comes up with a very clever play. Sanguinetti makes sure of that one. Good serve, Andringa shanks it. Off pace, controlled by Lavia. And Romano fizzes another one into court. That's a nice shot selection as well. And it's a very good set from Gianelli. It's raining spikes, that's for sure. That man's raining them down. Italy finding a way back into the set after a solid start from their opponents. I like this attitude from the Dutch. I really like the way they've come out in set 4. Absolutely determined. There looks like a bit of belief down on the floor as well amongst the Dutch players. Setter Kemmink to serve. Tight pass from Gelassi. Chance here to score. Namir can't do it. Gelassi makes up for the passing error and gets a monster block on a monster spiker. Another nice lesson. I know these guys train hard to be able to jump this high and reach over the net, but that wasn't over jumped. Didn't go after the ball, just made sure he closed the net down. Good touch again, net touch though to follow. Oh, Romano was all over the play. Should have been a point to Italy, but no. Blockers just lose control. Gianelli it was. No doubt about that one. Tunstro whips it into play. Beautiful pass. Not a great set from Gianelli, but he can make up for it. He can't put it down though. Great touch from Gelassi. Dutch have to go again. Out of system. Good defense. Well played by Kemmink. Has Namir got the hands? He has. Terrific blocking. Palazzo thinks it's out, and then Gelassi holds his hand up, but it's been given. Good serve, great defensive pass. This is a massive chance. Dutch to go 4 ahead. No, he's been stopped again. And Namir is so upset with the player that delivered the hitting opportunity, because it was delivered off the net by Andringa. He had to take a step back as he came in. This is a guy you want to put right on the tape, because he'll out-jump most players in the world. Oh, it's a tough one. That's a really tough one for the Dutch team. That should have been a 4-point lead. Instead, it's just the 2 as Lavia puts it into play. Andringa passes well, and Pluck can't get it away off the arm, so they have to go again. Oh, too good. Too good. Not sure about the set selection there from Kemmink. Gelassi read that like a book. And Pluck hits the ball ferociously hard. That's a good defensive play. But this block from Gelassi is just incredible. Wow. Shows him one way. Takes the cross-court shot. Italy's just stumbling along a bit here in set 4. Under the error. Back to serve. He's been very in and out from the service line tonight. When it's been in, it's been good. There we go. Overpass. Namir can't put a ball away at the moment. And they are paying the price because of it. If we just take transition chances alone, the Dutch should be 6 points ahead. I know it doesn't quite work like that, but those are the chances they've had and not taken. Shank pass, well recovered by Namir. Superb. Absolutely superb. If you wrote down the definition of out of system, that was pretty much it. Shank pass, Namir on the floor, one-handed, and then Jorna goes wrong hand to kill the ball. Hey, if it works. Back to the Namir serve. The crowd know this is an important moment. Ace serve, 129 clicks. And they're going to challenge it purely to slow the game down, just to make Namir think about the next serve. Remember though, when you're hitting it at that pace with that power, the ball compresses. It doesn't just skid off the surface, it compresses, and that allows it to hit the line, and it's hit the line beautifully. Silence in Bari. Another very important period of play here for both teams. Oh, he's just been hit by it. Lavia was getting out of the way, but 130 kilometers per hour. What can you do? He's hit that so hard. Lavia trying to limbo, but it's clubbed him straight in the chest. Trouble for Italy here, real trouble.
Mi raccomando, pronti alla difesa. Una cosa, noi adesso abbiamo tenuto come abbiamo fatto, stiamo rimanendo attaccati, abbiamo preso 2 o 3 muri sulle azioni lunghe e questa è una cosa buona, ma dobbiamo sfruttare meglio alcune occasioni che ci capitano, perché le stiamo concedendo. Ragazzi, è il momento di stare attaccati.
No amount of timeout information will help the passing unit deal with this serve. This is travelling at a fearsome pace, so the best chance really is to just knock Namir out of his rhythm with this timeout. If Namir is just going to place this in, the 4-point lead, I'd put it in court, give your blockers a chance here. We'll see what he fancies. All-out power. It could be another point here for the Dutch. Not the best pass from Andringa. Namir from the back line thumps it down off the arms of Russo, and the Netherlands captain is taking Italy to pieces here. It's a little bit early, even for me, to call it. But there is a whiff of the 5th set in the air. Italian fans and the team want to win a point so it doesn't become a stink. Dutch defending well. Here's the chance. Namir out of the back line again. He just suddenly comes to life, Namir. Just turns into a points machine. This is brilliant. 5 sets, anyone? Mosca in the Sanguinetti. Not surprised to see that. Sanguinetti just struggling at the moment in set 4. Mosca, the 22-year-old from Piacenza. Quite a lot of court time in the Super League or for the national squad. but he's a big boy. And he gets into the action straight away. 2 meters and 9 makes the difference. Mosca closes the angle, gets the shutdown, sees off the dangerous Namir serve. It was mostly Michieletto, but that's 2.11 and 2.09 next to each other in the block. Gianelli slaps it into play. Solid pass. Not the best hit from Parkinson. This is tight. Off the head. Defended. But it's 4 touches. Took him 3 to get to there. Gianelli supplied the 4th. Dutch in control of set 4. Gisjona to serve. Great set. What a great set. One-handed all the way out to Yuri Romano. And because he's a lefty, he's got plenty to aim at cross court from that left side. Well, they're going to need, they've not gone on massive serve runs, Italy, so what they're going to need is Michieletto to deliver 2 points, Romano to deliver a couple. Just keep chipping away at this Dutch lead. Out, but it touched the block, did it? Well, blockers say no. Dutch are convinced. Challenge it is, and instantly admitted to. Ah, the wonders of modern technology. Makes players very honest. Just clip Romano on the way. Italy don't want to go to 5. They don't want another tough test. But hey, if you have to win it in 5, that's where you got to go. And it looks like that's where we are going. Rinaldi comes in for Lavia and immediately gets roofed. So Rinaldi, 21-year-old Modena player, came through the Modena and just a development system. That's a swing. That is a swing. However, as brilliant as that is, it's worth 1 point. So if Italy don't score on their own serve for the rest of this set, we're going to 5. Can Mosca bring something? Yeah, good hit. Thought that caught the block on the way, but no appeals from Benny Tunstede. Just a straight miss hit in that case. Mosca did well not to throw a hand at that. So there's one of the points. Not looking much better, is it? 5 to get still before the Dutch get to 25. The Dutch points now being greeted with a considerable hush in the stadium here in Bari. This Italian crowd are starting to get very worried. They were in control. They were playing like gods. Namir had disappeared. And then the set finishes, change ends, change of fortune, and the Netherlands now playing out of their skins. Isn't it funny how certain players pop up at various times in a match to become the hot arm, and Gilassi is that at the moment. Back to another serve that can score points. 2 or 3 here would be perfect for Italy. Won't solve the problem, but it will at least change the dimensions of the scoreboard. Good hit off the net. Great block. Great block. Tinsler gave that everything, but it just wouldn't carry. It was your name. Apologies. No, I'll change that back again. We got there in the end. It was Tinsler. It's a lottery. The tiebreaker set is a real lottery. Out comes Plak. In comes the big man. Tallest player in the match. 2 meters and 14 CEV EuroVolley. Through the middle. Big delay for Romano before this serve. Good serve. Iona deals with it. Oh, Tinsler deals with it just. Out it goes. Italy trying to stay in here. But Namir edging them closer and closer. The Dutch to the tiebreaker. The 15-point lottery, and if that's where they go, they will be so pleased that they've got a shot. Nice. What a nice swing from Romano. Well, the Dutch came through a 5-set thriller to win the round of 16 match, a team that Italy only beat in 5 sets in the pool. So they both had a couple. Mum, I'm watching volleyball. Oh, wow. Well, it was a ball that was suspended in the air. It was a ball that really should have been defended, and it probably should have been defended by Namir. But he didn't, and Kemming, the setter, who should have been distributing, was sort of left hanging there. Time out by Piazza.
Normally, with this one, Namir for short on position 2, the other one close the line in the other side. Okay? Go!
So the timeout aimed at just getting a serve error. And this is now another key period of play. The last one, that last key period of play was won convincingly by the Dutch. That's why they have such a good lead. This period of play needs to be won by Italy. Looks like Krottenbleck's gone. Back in comes Plak. Rinaldi prepares to serve. Off pacer. Oh, great block. Great block. That was a little bit telegraphed by Kemming. It was a little bit set by numbers, and Plak was late. And Gelassi, Gianelli roofing the hell out of him. This is a good serve run from the substitute, Rinaldi. No, dear. Look, forget that. Forget that. Italy have recovered a bit of momentum. Now they can go to work. What they need here is a very solid side out. And who knows, off the Plak serve. If it's in, it's trouble, but it's out quite a bit. Good serve. Oh, it's an ace. It's a crunching ace. That is massive for the Dutch. Well played, Fabian Plak. A huge amount of technique with Plak when it comes to his serving. He chucks it in the air and he just lashes it. There we go. This for a 5-point lead. Just wide. Worth a go, worth a go. At least he's made it trickier for Italy. They've now got to find 4 points. It was reduced to 3 earlier in the set. Gelassi. Namir waits. He's been brilliant in this set. That's a horrible serve, right into the middle of the net. Oh, if only Johnson could have that back. I don't know, it's got a funny feeling in my stomach. This doesn't feel like 5, and poor old Roberto Russo on the sidelines having to watch this one with the injury. See what I mean? Doesn't feel like 5, not just yet. Not just yet. I think the Dutch have got to score another point for me, and then we can start looking at a tiebreaker. But Italy here can cause problems. A couple of serves just to tighten the pressure. And then it's the Dutch that will be having the tricky thoughts. Nice hit, good pass though. Oh, brilliant. That is exceptional. That's a lovely set from Kemming. Good take from Michael Parkinson down the middle, but this is brilliant. On the beak to Tunstra, just off his shoulder. Nice finish from Benny Tunstra. Luciana at the line. Go on then. I'll concede. We're going 5. Another great shot. That's a crazy set from Gianelli. That's a lot of confidence in the young man behind him. But it's Leandro Mosca going to the service line. He doesn't really put a huge amount of pressure on opposition receptions. So this will have to be pretty special. 2 points required for the Dutch to take this to 5. It's a good hit. It's in play. Maybe swing, not down. Oh, wow. Well, it wasn't Mosca at the line, it was Michieletto. He's not going to go there for a little while, and they're very fortunate that Mosca's still in front court. Roof in the living daylights out of Namir. We are once again in a situation where everything could change. Marvellous block from Rinaldi. Because if Michieletto bangs a couple of serves here, the Dutch will be struggling. There's the touch from Balasso. Oh, good save from Mosca. Dutch still in the rally. Goes high for Namir. He has to tip. Unbelievable. 4 touches. And Italy come up with a remarkable defensive play to keep that rally going, and the Dutch fans looking very worried now. No touch on that block. And this is now a massive point in the context of this championship. No wonder the Italian fans are on their feet, trying to deny Roberto Piazza any chance of communicating with the players. Thousands and thousands of times in practice. Pass, set, spike. But in front of a partisan 6,000 crowd here in Bari, suddenly the job ain't so easy. This is a massive serve in the context of this match for Michieletto and Italy. It's a huge point for the Dutch in the context of the match. Good hit, what a serve, great pass. And the tip off the hands of Romano. He knew it as soon as he launched into the air, he knew he'd overcommitted. And Benny Tunstra just waited for him. Just waited and waited and waited, and nothing he could do about it. Off the armpits and away. Silmeis comes in for the set point. The Netherlands fight on. Parkinson out to give Meis the chance to serve. And he's got a tricky serve for Silmeis. Good hit, well passed. Italy to stay in the set. Oh, that is a miraculous hit from Rinaldi. What a gutsy play from the youngster. Watch this in the air. In he comes on the tight angle and then just wraps it across his body down the line. Sensational hit. We've got another huge point on our hands. Now, Mosca does serve. The Dutch to take it to 5. Italy have got a chance here. Romano's missed it. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm sure we'll get a challenge because Italy have won, but the Dutch are convinced this is their set, and we're going to 5. Got to wait and see. Got to wait and see. We haven't even started. The crowd absolutely give it everything as Namir prepares to serve. He sticks a thunderbolt into court. Great pass. Oh, wow. What a start from the Dutch. That is a huge block on Michieletto. That is incredible. Parkinson shuts him down, bounces it on the line. 1-0 in this race to 15. We are underway with the tiebreaker to decide who goes through to the semi-finals between the Dutch and the Italians. It's the perfect start for the Dutch. And things have just got real down there on court for the Italians, who were in control of this match. And now fighting for their lives in this tournament against a Dutch team that have played some brilliantly organised volleyball, and poor old Ferdinando Di Giorgi can't watch. Very early timeout called.
le direzioni che hai. Vai ragazzi, finisci, andiamo.
Well, those of you that watch a lot of volleyball with us here on EuroVolley TV will understand how tiebreakers work. The team that races into the lead isn't necessarily the team that wins the set. But if you're offered a lead, if you're given a lead, you'll take it every time. Georgi, hoping his timeout upsets the rhythm of Namir. High toss, brilliant hit. Namir is causing absolute havoc here, and that was a desperately needed side out. Georgi just reminding Michieletto that he's got Kimming as the blocker out wide, and he's got to try and use number 2. And he's used him. Doing. That's what we heard from Di Giorgi. 2-1. Italy get their first point on the board. Gianelli. Tough serve, well passed. And that's a super hit. He's not done a huge amount in the last set and a half, Gisiona, but what a time to come up with this shot. From a Dutch point of view, absolute minimum here. They want to get through to Namir serving again without conceding any points. If they can get through at 2 up with Namir at the line, that could be curtains for Italy. Good dig from the captain. Great containing play from Italy. And second time of asking. Michieletto from the wrong side gets it done. From Italy's point of view, they would dearly love to be up on the scoreboard by the time Namir comes to the line again. Just to put a bit of pressure on the shoulder, and there's a face of determination from this young man, the Prince of Trentino, to serve again. Whips it into play, well contained. Out of the back line, Namir hits hard. Balasso with a miracle touch. Well, he's really unlucky that that hasn't stayed in play, because that was some dig. But once again, Namir with a bit too much to handle. Parkinson floats it in. Easy pass for the Italians. La Via makes it look easy. That was a lovely set from Gianelli. And this is what the setters are trying to do. Transport the ball with such a tempo that the blockers, the middle blockers in particular, have no chance. You just cannot physically make the decision and move that quickly and still penetrate over the net, unless you've already pre-guessed where it's going. Great work from the Italian setter. Good containment again from Romano. Lavia just strokes it off the top of the block. And that brilliant start that the Dutch made to the tiebreaker has been cancelled out by the Italians. Hell of a get from Romano. And a very nice little shot spun off the fingertips of Pluck. It's one of those evenings, isn't it, Alessandro? Mosca to serve. Well passed. Heavy attack from Tunster is good. Namir needs his troops around him. He needs Jorna and he needs Tunster to keep turning the scoreboard over on side out. He'll take care of the rest. He just wants to be in the game when he comes round for his second visit. Great shot. That was really, really close to being a block point for the Dutch, but it was a fantastic kill in the end for Michieletto. Another lovely run. Yes, superb. And Gelassi doing the work just to attract the attention of Pluck. Good hit, good pass, keep it in play. Free ball. Italy for the point, then to take the lead. And they do so. For the first time in the tiebreaker set, the home team have their noses in front. And don't this Bari crowd know it? Listen to that in praise of the lefty, Yuri Romano. Spectacular performance by the Dutch to stay in this game, but Italy now with chances, and the chances are arriving. He's waited a long time to do that, but Yuri Romano hammers an ace. And I believe the phrase is, cometh the hour, cometh the man. What a shot.
Question, right before Namir, we need to bring the ball on defense. He's defense, and then we can play front and back, be smart, use the block, recycling and go. Let's go.
Timeout after 2 points by the Italian coach Ferdinando Di Giorgi. Timeout after 12 points by Roberto Piazza. The coach is taking a relatively early punt on the timeouts, and again the timeout used specifically to affect the service rhythm of Yuri Romano. So does he gamble? Does he go risk? He does. Clips the net. Dutch have control. Namir. Well, gets the point, courtesy of a net touch by Gelassi or Lavia. There you go, armpit, just tickling the top of the net tape. Too much from Benny Tunstro. Worth the go. Absolutely worth the go. We get to 8 points. To ensure there's no advantage one end to the other. It is a change of ends. And now the Palaflorio is buzzing again. This is one hell of a noise. You ask any player at this level what they think of this. They love it. They love playing in front of crowds like this, in front of noise like this. Even the Dutch, with the crowd against them, will be loving this. They're taking it all the way to the 5th. Can they hang on here? Italy threatening to break away. Lavia to serve. Goes off pace, well passed by Andringa. Namir forced to tip, and tips effectively. Minelli with an awkward landing here. Let's hope the Italian captain's okay. Yeah, ooh, yeah. So the arm just slid away from him, and it's never fun when that happens. It always kind of pops the shoulder a little bit. There you go. That'll certainly sting. That'll sting the Dutch even more though. Plack with another miss. They can't get a serve in at the moment. It's putting a huge amount of pressure on their side-out game. And all they're trying to do is side out Namir back to the line while they're still in contention. Then anything can happen. Massi to serve. 9-7 Italy. He goes off pace, makes sure of it. That's a superb hit. I like that setting choice when it's just a touch off the net from Kemming. That surprises the middle blocker. That's a hell of a jump and arrival by Parkinson. Great physicality from the Dutch middleman. And here we go. Here we go. Dutch are in the game here. This is big. Great hit. Out of system, Italy. Micheletto. Well, that might have been going long. Dutch chose to defend it. It's coming back. Oh, amazing stuff. Italy go again. They've defended again. Namir. Oh, he's roofed. What a rally. Without a shadow of a doubt, one of the rallies of the season. And Italy win it. It's not just the point, it's the fact they've removed Namir from the service line. That is total commitment from Andringa. Everybody covered in advertising hoardings, and that is a massive stop from Mosca. And don't the Dutch know just as much as Mosca how important that point was? Oh, that was the chance. That was the chance gone. And Namir probably won't appear again at the service line. Great serve, good touch in defence. Wonderful hit, brilliant defence from Gianelli. Micheletto thunders it. Italy are on their way to Rome and the semi-finals at least. This is going to require a massive effort now from the Dutch to pick themselves up. And Roberto Piazza has decided that now is the time for the final gamble on the timeout.
So, inside out, and then right on serve. And we can recover the point again. We must stay there. Go! Yes, master!
Well played, Alessandro and Micheletto. Continuing to develop as a player, and every single one of these plays, every single hit under pressure, is all part of that experience cycle that you just cannot buy. It takes time to become as good as these players become, but Micheletto has got more room to grow. Italy have a very, very bright future with this group of players and with the players that they have coming through in the system. But that's for the future. Back to the present and back to this tussle. The Dutch have to side this ball out. Gianelli, that might have been going long. Tunstra played it. It's a good pass. It's a fine swing from Jorna, but Italy defend brilliantly again. And again, Balasso gets it up. Micheletto scores. No, he doesn't. Oh, wow. And one of the best points we've seen of the season is followed instantly by another one. Two remarkable passages of play. I was convinced it was going out. Italy thought it was going out. But the ball stayed in, and Romano has been roofed by Parkinson. This is incredible volleyball. Piazza is still beside himself because he thinks that ball hit the floor mid-rally, but it matters not. It's his team's point. And if ever a point could steal a team, poor old Roberto Russo, still watching on, injured from the sideline. That last point must have stolen the Dutch. They must be up for this. Not this time. Not this time. The best of efforts from Namir, but it was too big. And Daniele Lavia gets the plaudits of the crowd. That's a really clever set from Gianelli. He basically ran something that almost wasn't there. Micheletto can finish the game. Good hit. Great coverage from Jorna. Tunstra, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Let's not forget the contribution that the Dutch players have made to this match. Keming, Parkinson, Clark, and the outsides, Jorna, Tunstra, and in particular Namir, have been absolute heroes out there tonight. But it looks like they might still come up short. Parkinson can't watch, replaced again. Silmace under pressure. He's turned games before from the service line. Not this time, though. Not this time. Yuri Romano drills it into the corner. 3-point lead restored. And that's surely going to be good enough for Italy. Mosca out. Spettoli, backup setter who hasn't played a single point in this quarter-final, is in to serve and play defence. He's got a very good jump serve, Spettoli, but he's not going to be able to unleash the big one. This will have to go in with pressure and then just play D. He's hit it hard. He's hit it very hard and it's over the baseline, so nothing doing there for Spettoli. That'll be his last contribution to this match. One and only. Mosca on, Mosca off. Back in comes Balasso. One kill takes Italy to match point in this spectacular five-setter. Came in to serve. Good front line here for the Dutch. Can they find a block? Lavia against Namir, beats him and beats Kemming. What a stunning hit. Under pressure, and he's giving it everything there. Lavia takes his team to 3 match points. The whole of this arena are up. Big hit from Romano. This to stay in. Namir wraps it off the hands. They've got one more chance of the Netherlands. All you can do is ask the question. And how does Turnster feel? He's not got a huge amount of serves in play today, but he has got a couple of big serves away. But this is massive pressure. Hits it hard, it's a brilliant serve. Lavia for the game. That's it. Italy have done it. An incredible match comes to a close in favour of the home side. Italy are on their way to the semi-finals, but they've had to do it the hard way against a spirited Dutch team who turned on a brilliant performance today. Every time they looked down and out, back they came. But in the end, Italy win in 5, and they book their place in the final 4 against the Olympic champions, France. Well, I'm delighted to say Roberto Russo is actually up and walking. Gianelli taking a bit of time with the opposition captain, Namir. And that's how it should be. That's how it should be at the end of a good game, at a good contest. It should be players shaking hands and saying, where are we going for the beer? It'll just be the one, of course, because Italy will play on in the tournament. And they are going to have to be at their very best to win this. The quality here at the EuroVolleys has been stunning. The contests, the matchups, and the action spectacular. 2 points there that would grace any game in that final set. There is Russo. Shame that he couldn't play a further role in that match, but at least he's up and walking. His replacements, Mosca and Sanguinetti, did a solid job. Well, the joy and the celebrations will continue for a while here in Bari. And the players know you've got to enjoy the moments like this when they happen. They come along fleetingly. And in the short careers of these professional players, you've got to enjoy it when it happens. That may be it for some of the Dutch players, some of the senior players. Slightly emotional, Walter Tamak there. Just going across to thank the Dutch fans. But the run for the Netherlands here at the EuroVolleys comes to an end in the quarterfinals against Italy in Bari. But what a game and what a spectacle they contributed to. Well, Italian Federation dignitaries on court to celebrate with the team. Understandably so, these are big moments. And this team has come through another test, but that was a big test against the Dutch. And that's a spectacular response from the crowd. There we go, there's your victory shot. Italy are into the semi-finals, and hopefully we'll be hearing from the player shortly. Roberto Russo not looking all that comfortable in that position. Let's hope that his injury can be recovered pretty quickly. So I think we're going to try and grab the Italian captain, Simone Giannelli, for a quick word at the end of this game. Just one of those magical nights of volleyball that Italy seems to be able to deliver. Made all the more magical because of the scoreline. Italy 3, the Netherlands 2. 15-12 in that fifth set, but well played to the Dutch for forcing it all the way to the tiebreaker. There's your final tale of the tape, and it was mighty close. Really good performance from both teams. And as always, winner and a loser. Tough for the Dutch, they go home, but Italy march on in their home European Championship.